to everyone with warm greetings. It gives me an immense pleasure to extend a warm welcome to each one of you who are all part of the webinar. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a process, working together is a success. Henry Ford. I, Geeta M. from 2nd MCom of PG Department of Commerce, St.Anne's Degree College for Women, cordially welcome each one of you for the webinar on the topic Importance of Digital Literacy in the Pandemic by the resource person, Assistant Professor Ratnakar Shetty. I extend my warm greetings to each one of you and we all welcome you, sir. It is true that a prayer that comes from the heart can move mountains. It increases your faith and brings you closer to God. Before starting this session, let's take the blessings from the God. Now I request Arogya Jyoti from 2nd MCom to lead us in prayer.
Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there is doubt, true faith in. Oh, Master, grant that I may never see. So much to be consoled as to console. Be understood as to understand. To be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there is doubt, true faith in. Make me a channel of your peace.
It was indeed spiritual. Now I welcome our beloved principal, Professor Nisha Joseph ma'am, who has continuously guided us in organizing this webinar. Ma'am, I request you to welcome the gathering.
Yes. Good afternoon, and thank you, Geeta. My greetings and welcome to our Secretary, Reverend Sister Margaret Fatima, the eminent speaker, Assistant Professor Ratnakara Shetty, organizers of this program, and participants of this national level student webinar on the importance of digital literacy in the pandemic. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the Post-Graduation Department of Commerce for hosting this webinar on a topic that will ensure that students actually grow into competent individuals in their professional and personal life. My warmest welcome to each member of the PG department. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our Secretary and Administrator, Reverend Sister Margaret Fatima, who involves herself in the minutest planning of this event, which actually enables to shape the destiny of those who enter the portals of this institution. I accord my warmest welcome to you, Reverend Sister. My warmest welcome to our esteemed speaker for today's session. I'll take a moment to introduce Assistant Professor Ratnakara Shetty. He is the Professor of Computer Science at YIASCM, Yenopaya, deemed to be University. Sir has completed his MSc in Computer Science in the year 2009 from Mangalore University. He is pursuing his PhD in Computer Science from Mangalore University. Sir has been teaching in and working as Assistant Professor of Computer Science at Yenopaya Arts, Science, Commerce and Management, deemed to be University, Mangalore. He also worked 1 year as Assistant Professor of Computer Science in the Department of St. Aloysius College of Mangalore Autonomous College and the Computer Science Department. He also worked as 7 years as a lecturer in the computer science in Sri Bhuvendra College, Karakala, Karnataka. And at present, he is pursuing doctoral studies in the area of image processing and pattern recognition. Sir has presented papers entitled Action Recognition Using Undecimated Dual Tree Complex Wavelet Transformed from Depth Motion Map Depth Sequencing in the ISPRS International Workshop, and that was done in Moscow, Russia. And also he has presented a paper entitled Complex Gradient Function Based Descriptor for Iris Biometric and Action Recognition, which was at IIT Allahabad, India. Sir has cleared his case set for assistant professorship in the year 2015 and has qualified GATE 2017 in computer science and information technology. He has also qualified for UGC NET for assistant professor in the December 2019. It is a pleasure to welcome you for this program on behalf of the faculty, management, and the entire student community. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. I extend my warmest welcome to our dear students. Now, digital literacy is the need of the hour in this dynamic environment, which gives us a competitive advantage. So I hope that each one of you take advantage of this webinar and imbibe the most from it. So wishing each one of you a very enriching learning experience. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for a warm welcome. Although in the absence of our secretary, Reverend Sister Margaret Fatima Mary has sent her message to us. So let's all watch the video sent by our secretary.
A very good evening to today's chief guest, Associate Professor Ratnagara Shetty, Department of Computer Science, Principal Nisha Joseph, Associate Professor Ranjit Kumar, the Coordinator, Dr. Venkatalakshmi, HOD, and loving students. I welcome you all for today's national level webinar at St.Anne's Degree College for Women, Halasuru. St.Anne's Degree College for Women, affiliated to Bangalore City University, was established in the year 2005. The college is managed by the Society of Sisters of St.Anne, founded by Mother Tatipatri Nyanama, a young widow, in 1874. She had a great vision in changing the lives of thousands of young, deserving, and marginalized women through education. Following her footsteps, St.Anne's sisters are in the service of education for 158 years. The global impact of COVID-19 pandemic is multifaceted and is clearly manifested in almost all areas. In the field of education, this emergency has led to the massive closure of face-to-face activities of educational institutions in more than 190 countries in order to prevent the spread of the virus and alleviate its impact. While the majority of schools and colleges have transitioned to online delivery of classes and evaluation to avoid the disruption of educational services, the digital platform still remains uncharted territory for majority of people in a low middle income country such as ours. The internet penetration in our country is making steady inroads into urban as well as rural areas, and approximately 73.3% of the country's population is said to be connected by mobile phones. But the utilization of digital resources, especially in mainstream education, had remained virtually explored as of now. Digital literacy is about being able to make sense of digital media. This occurs through meaningful and sustainable consumption and curation patterns that improve an individual's potential to contribute to an authentic community. This includes the ability to analyze, prioritize, and act upon the countless digital media 21st century citizens encounter on a daily basis. Students from now on will grow up to the workers and leaders in a digital first world that will demand new skills and new ways of thinking and philosophy. In short, education's age-old 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic, are being joined by fourth, reinventing. 3 principles of digital literacy. Comprehension. The first principle of digital literacy is simply comprehension, the ability to extract implicit and explicit ideas from a media. Second, interdependence. The second principle of digital literacy is interdependence. How one media form connects with another, whether potentially, ideally, or literally. Media is created with the purpose of isolation, and publishing is easier than ever before. Due to the sheer abundance of media, it is necessary that media forms not simply coexist but supplement one another. Social factors. Sharing is no longer just a method of personal identity or distribution, but rather can create messages of its own. Who shares what, to whom, through what channels cannot only determine the long-term success of the media, but can create organic ecosystems of sourcing, sharing, storing, and ultimately repackaging media. Dear participants, this webinar is not only informative, but also it is very inspiring and beneficial. Utilize this great opportunity to know more about the importance of digital literacy in pandemic. Wish you all the best for today's webinar. Mother Teresa says, even if our work is just a drop in the ocean, without it, the ocean will be one drop lesser. May God continue to bless you in all your endeavors. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mother, for your enthusiastic words. Now, without much delay, let's start the session. Now, I request our resource person, Assistant Professor Ratnakar Shetty, to take over the session. Over to you, sir. And I request all the participants to mute their speakers and stop their videos.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I hope I'm audible and my audio is clear enough. Yes,
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 sir.
sir.
please. Okay. So as Madam has rightly said, it's very essential that we need to be technologically equipped nowadays. It's not only during COVID pandemic or even otherwise, it's very essential that we are well equipped with the various technological skills, because every career, it requires digital communication at some point of time, isn't it? So keeping that point in mind, it's very essential to have the technological knowledge. So from that backdrop, this webinar is hosted. So thank you very much for considering me as the resource person for this particular national level student webinar. I'm quite thankful to the management and the principal and also the organizers. Well, let's start with the session. In fact, it's almost 3:20 now. So we will continue up to probably 4:30. Okay, so I will try to be little faster because I have some content which I need to discuss with you in the beginning, and later the second half of my presentation, what I have planned is I can give some demonstration. So keeping that point in mind, I have requested Madam to inform you that you can try logging in using your laptop or your desktop system, so that you can also try some tools, provided that you can download some small 10 MB file and you can install and you can try that. Okay. So any disturbance there?
Yes, a little bit
Is it
some disturbance. Yes, yes,
is,
yes.
is,
For
is
some
it
time.
is it from my side or
I think now it's fine, sir. Now it's fine.
okay, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So what I have planned is in fact the outline of our discussion, today's discussion is in the beginning we'll be discussing about digital literacy and the significance of digital literacy, as our principal ma'am and also the secretary ma'am has already mentioned. I need not talk much in this particular aspect, I feel, because ma'am has already mentioned regarding that. But still, in order to give a justice to the topic, I'll be speaking on this in the beginning, and later we will move ahead to the demonstration. And also we'll see how the surge in the usage of digital tools has happened during pandemic. Okay. So, and as I said, in the last part or the second half, we will be having some discussion on some tools, some techniques, also some tips which may be helpful for you in using the digital platform for maybe for your studies, for maybe your presentation, or various interviews, or whatever it may be. Okay. And also demonstration I may not be doing at the end. Instead, while discussing itself, as I said, in the second half, I'll be doing the demonstration simultaneously. So if it is possible for you to uh, do it along with me, it would be good. Otherwise also no problem, we can have a discussion, and later I hope the session is being recorded, and later the recording may be shared with you, so that you can get back to that and you can practice it at the later stage. So let's move ahead. So what is digital literacy? So digital literacy, in the sense, it's not basically just understanding the digital usage. Okay, it's not just you are using a digital tool. It should be more than that, in the sense you should be able to uh, evaluate, and you should be able to create, and also you should be able to communicate and coordinate using these digital tools. Okay, so it's not simply if you are watching a video in the YouTube, or if you are just using a PowerPoint slide or something like that, you cannot call it as digital literacy. So it's little more than that. So what is digital literacy? So you may find various definitions, as our madam has already defined. You may find different variety of definitions. So this one standard definition is from American Library of Association. So it says the ability to use information, communication technologies in order to find, evaluate, create, and communicate information. So you need to be able to search for information. You should be able to analyze that. Okay, so there are various tools, tools which may helpful for uh, evaluating as well as analyzing the data or information. So you should be able to do that. You should be able to create information. You should be able to communicate and also coordinate with others. Okay, so in collaboration, you should be able to work with others, and also it should require both cognitive and technical skills. So what do you mean by cognitive skill? That your mental action or the process of acquiring knowledge or getting information from the real world through your experience and also through your sensory organs. So that kind of technology, ability, alongside you should also have technical skills which will which will be very helpful in acquiring this ability of digital literacy. So digital literacy is a word which has got wider meaning. That's the point what I want to highlight in the beginning. So what all things you do in the framework of digital literacy? You are communicating with others. So it can be your friends, or it can be your collaborator, or it can be with your teachers, or it can be your group member or project group member, or it can be also with a company or a HR with whom you are facing an interview. So in various platforms for various requirements, you may be using these digital platforms. So it can be sharing or creation of audios, or it can be also searching information, communication, analysis, or even using some collaborative tools, which I may be, if time permits, I may be discussing a couple of collaborative tools during the uh, second half of our discussion. As I said, I may demonstrate that. So such kind of tools. So all these aspects come together into the framework of digital literacy. Then what is the significance of digital literacy, or why it is required? See, being equipped with the skills effectively and responsibly. So it's not that just you should be effective, you should be also responsible. So whenever you are online and using or browsing, or you are in the internet domain, you should take care of yourself. So you should be responsible enough so that you do not use these platforms for some harmful aspects or usage. So you should have these skills to use effectively and responsibility, with full responsibility, and to do the same thing whatever we have defined in the previous definition, to find, evaluate, and also to communicate and share the content. So as I mentioned in the beginning, it's very essential that we are digitally equipped, because in your career or every career, it requires some digital communication at some point of time. That's for sure. So that's the reason why you need digital literacy. So in what and all platforms you may expect this kind of digital literacy or person-centered digital literacy, in what and all fields it spans across. So if you observe this particular slide, look at that. So you need a technical proficiency. You should have technical skills. Beyond that, it helps, or it is spanning across the domain of creating innovation and research. So there are various tools which helps you to uh, promote your creativity, your innovation ability, and also to do research. So I hope most of the students are PG students. So you may take up some projects which may be research based projects, which may be very good for your career. If you are able to take some data and analyze, and if you are able to derive some results out of that, and if you can present a paper, that would add a lot of mileage to your profile, and that would be very, very helpful to your career, uh, to be very precise. So please consider this as a part of your studies, research. Okay. So information and data content. So generating information and data and managing the content. So that is also a part of digital literacy. Beyond that, in teaching, learning, and self-development, we are already using this. We are being in education domain, being students or being teachers, we are into that, isn't it? Teaching and learning and self-development. So I will be discussing a couple of tools which may be helpful for you in your teaching or learning, and even during your presentation of various projects or such kind of things, and also for communication and collaboration and participation. So that is another domain where this digital literacy is quite significant. Then digital identity, well-being, and safety and security. So whatever it is the level of our digital literacy, and whatever it is the level or depth of our usage, we should be very careful in using these kind of tools, because whenever we say digital tools, it's not limited to an isolated computer system. It's always connected to the internet. So whenever you are working in such kind of systems, you should take care of your safety, or you should keep in mind that the security and safety is not breached at all. So that is the backdrop of this particular topic. So now, how the surge in usage of digital tools happened during the pandemic. So if you simply observe this slide, look at this, around 4.38 billion number of users were there during January 2019. So it was before pandemic. And if you observe the next slide, you see that the number has drastically increased. So this is April 2021. So I have some more statistics of previous year. So it was during COVID-19 pandemic, how the use of video conferencing has increased drastically during the period of or in the month of June, July 2020. So, the lockdown and all these issues started in the month of uh, March 2020. I get some noises. Is it from my side or any issues? I hope my side audio is clear enough. Yes? Okay.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No problem. I'm not disturbed, but I'm worried if it is from my side, I have to get some resolution for that. Anyway, thank you, ma'am. So if you observe, see here in the age group of 16 to 28 and 25 and 34, this video conferencing kind of tools have been drastically used in those periods, because maybe it is due to the what is that, work from home kind of culture in the working age group. And also the students immediately they started attending online classes, and everything shifted into online platform. Maybe due to that, you can say video conferencing has drastically increased or in those dates. And also here, it's just an increase in online and digital activities during the month of July 2020. So what is that? See, here the streaming services, it is like around 52 percentage here, and even other social media kind of things around 43%, and uploading of videos, creation, all these usages, even streaming services, music and other entertainment kind of things have also drastically increased. So these are the digital activities statistics in those period of pandemic. So what and all uh, what is the statistics of video conferencing platforms to observe? It's of last year. See, Zoom has been used by around 300 million per day. That is the usage statistics. Then Google Meet, it is highly used. Even Teams and even Skype kind of tools are highly being used during this pandemic. So if you let's come out of pandemic. As I told you, we'll not stick on to the concept of pandemic. So this digital literacy and this digital skill set is required throughout our career and life. So keeping that particular point, here onwards, we will be discussing few aspects and few tools. So how is the digital waves from day one till date? So if you observe, the first wave was the internet wave. It was in early period, or in the beginning, or in the year of 2000s, you can say. So the number of devices which were being used was around, or which were connected, was around 1 billion. Later, during the second wave, this is not COVID wave, this is the technological digital wave. Okay, so during the second wave of mobile internet, that is around 2010s, you have around 10 billions of users. During the third wave, you can find 50 billion, that is till 2020. Then after 2020, the third wave was Internet of Things, the embedded systems which are connected to one another, so that technology. What about the last or the current era? We are in the fourth wave, and definitely the number of users who are connected is quite large and huge. So it's basically AI, robotics, data science, data analytics kind of domain, where you find a lot of digital platforms or technologies are being used. So during COVID, in what and all domains we were using, or in what and all areas mainly these digital platforms were being used. So if you observe, the primary thing was quite useful and essential was medical related aspects. So in the, especially during COVID, for contact tracing, for quarantine, for tracing the quarantine and self-isolated people, and even for screening for infection, and for the clinical management, for planning and tracking the patients, their recovery details, and also for tracking the medical supplies. So everywhere this digital technology has contributed or given, it had its own role during the pandemic. So that's what we can note, and which we are well aware of it. Apart from that, these digital services were also or delivery of services. So in that domain also, you had a huge impact or use of these digital tools during the pandemic. So it affected, or it resulted in faster results, and digital services, the quality of services will be good. It's not only during a pandemic, even before and even after, it is going to be a fact, or it remains unchanged. It will remain unchanged. So remote relationship. So even for contacting the people who are far away, you can use these kind of tools, the collaboration and communication tools. So all these tools are contributing in these domains. So apart from that, these domains, we can also observe our domain. What is our domain? Educational field. So everything has shifted into online platform. Teaching has shifted, and the learning has shifted into online platform, and also examination in some of the institutions and some of the autonomous colleges. They even conducted effective online examination, and they gave the result, isn't it? So in these platforms, the use of digital tools was uh, quite high. So the number of users in education field is very high, that, isn't it? From starting from school till maybe your PG, PhD, or UG, or whatever it is, you have students. Apart from that, you have the distance education course, where you find a huge number of students and huge number of teachers. So everyone, they suddenly moved into the online platform. So that was where the digital tools came into help during the pandemic. So that this is the first part of discussion, whatever I wanted to share with you. And the second half, I want to discuss some tools, and I want to mention some techniques and tips which may be helpful for you in your career and during your studies. So what and all tools we will be discussing? Basically, in the beginning, I'll mention one file organizing or folder organizing tool, which may be helpful for you if you are managing a many number of files, and if you are or folders, and if you find it very messy, and if you are not able to find out which is the important one, which is not so important and all, you can mark it. So for that, there is a tool called folder marker, which I wanted to which I will be showing you in the coming slide. And also the tool for annotation. So most of the presentations we need to do it online nowadays. So in such cases, you can use this kind of tool, which will help you in writing annotation over the slide or over the screen, or even when you are presenting some other tools or Word documents, you can use this annotation tool. So it's not only during online, even in the offline classes, or when you are giving presentation to your teacher or your project presentation, even during then you can use this kind of annotation tools. And then I'll mention about collaboration and communication tools. Then I'll mention you one shortcut way of downloading YouTube videos. So most of you may be knowing it, but still I thought of mentioning that because yesterday a couple of my students were struggling to download videos and they called me up. So I thought I will add it here. At the end, I will be mentioning few tips for safe browsing and regarding the digital footprints. Okay, so if you are in the system, if you are using laptop or computer system, you better keep a browser open, and you can be ready for practicing few aspects. Well, let me talk about the first tool which I want to tell you. See, we have been using various files and folders, especially folders. Even for files, there is a tool called file marker. So this is for folders. So we have hundreds of folders in our system. So this is for Windows platform, okay, not Linux or Mac system. This is for Windows platform. So because most of us, we are using Windows platform. That's why I took some tools which are related to Windows platform. Yes, any queries? No, I suppose. Well, so whenever you are using or whenever you are having many number of folders, if you color code them, or if you can give some annotation or some notation which will grab your attention at the later stage when you are coming back looking for that particular folder, it would be quite useful, isn't it? So when I joined PhD some 3 years back, all of a sudden I had to manage a lot of data sets, a lot of files, etc. So in that situation, I felt it is very much essential that I should have some tool which will give some color coding or something like that, so that I can organize my files. So then finally I landed, after some survey, I landed upon using this particular tool. So for using this tool, what you need to do is, can you see my screen and my browser? Yes, sir. Yes, yeah. Okay. Can you see my browser?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So this is the website where you can download this particular tool, which is called as folder marker. Okay, foldermarker.com/en for English. So here, don't go for this. This is paid one. Okay. So here in the download section, if you observe, you get folder marker pro, folder marker home, and folder marker free. Okay, so you can use this folder marker tree, which is having sufficient set of color coding options or uh, folder highlighting options. So if you download that, it will come something like this. So it is just 6.37394 KB. So 6.5 MB, 6.5 MB or 6.24 MB is the size of this particular file. So it is an exe file. You can just click on this and you can download. Okay, so this particular setup I don't want you to download and try now. So you can do it later because it's very simple. The next tool I will ask you to download and you can do that. So if I click this, it will get downloaded. It is a zip file, sorry, exe file. If you want zip file, you can download zip file also. So you know what is zip file? It is a compressed file. So you have to extract that, you know that. Okay, so this exe file is just set up. So you can download that. So if I download that, it will come somewhat like this. Okay, so once I install, so you know how to install. You have to right click for any software when you are installing. You have to right click and open, or you can just give run as administrator. So it comes like this. Okay, so it may take little time depending upon the ability and the configuration of your system. And so it will open up like this. So you have to give next, accept your agreement. So this is for installing any software. So I'm just showing because there may be some there are variety of students, I know that. So for some of you, if you are still if you are not able to install some software, you can just use this method. Right click and continue. Okay, so create a desktop icon. If you want to create, you can create, otherwise just say no. Okay, install. So then it will install and it will finish. So once you install, I don't want to install it now because I already installed in my PC. Okay, so if you install that, what you can do, you can highlight like this. See, I have two files on my desktop. I have two folders in my desktop, which I have highlighted. One is St.Anne's and another one is demo. Demo is color coded. So if you ultimately code it like that, it may be something like this. If you see, can you see my Explorer, where I have some files which are folders which are coded with red color, some coded with green color. So how can I do this? So how to do this? You, whatever folder you want to highlight, you just right click on that, go to folder, mark folder, go to mark folder. So these are various options of marking. So you can either do high priority or normal priority, low priority, planned work, half done work, whatever it is. So it is for your reference. So this is color coding. See, look at this color coding. So you can use red, green, blue, white, gray, black, whatever you want. So I want blue. So I'll just click on this. See, this folder color will be changed to blue
Sir,
once you are doing that. Okay.
excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Sir, your screen is not visible, sir.
Okay.
It's a very dark screen which you are able to see.
One
Once
second.
you started, just past the session. When you started to do that, now it is visible.
Okay.
When you started with your Explorer part, it wasn't visible, sir.
Now,
Now it's visible. Now it's visible.
okay.
Thank you, sir.
See, I have highlighted two folders with blue color. So what I have done is, so as I said, let me just repeat last two statements. See, some folders I have color coded with red and some with green. So I want to color code so that I can remember or manage it with some coding. So I'll just go to colors and select the color whatever I want. So I want to make it as black, say black. So once I do that, that particular folder will be highlighted with black color. So in this way, you can organize the things This is folder marker. So in the same way, you have another tool which is called as file marker. Okay, so you can just search for file marker. So file marker.net. So that will give you another tool which will help you for highlighting the files. So look at this. So these are the various options. Okay, so if you are not able to see it in Explorer, it's visible here. Okay. Well, one more tool which I want to share with you is Clover 3. So what is this Clover 3? See, basically, when you are using Windows, I have already installed Clover, so I may not be able to show you the natural way of working with Windows. So you know how complicated it is to work with Windows, right? So many windows, one window will be there in the background, one more window will be at the foreground. So if you want to go back, you have to minimize the window which is at the foreground, then you have to open the second window. So like this, it's a little complicated when you are working with multiple windows in a computer system. So in that case, if you are getting a feature, what you are seeing in your web browsers, what kind of feature you see in your web browsers, you see that there are tabs, isn't it? There are tabs in your web browsers. So you are already having one tab. You can just click on this plus button and you will get the next tab. So it continues like this, isn't it? So as many number of tabs as you want, you can just open up. So that kind of feature can be incorporated to your Windows system using some plugins or some small softwares. So there are many, and one of them is Clover 3. Okay, Clover 3. So this is one link where you can download that. So I'll not open that link and show in order to save time. Okay, so if you just click and install, download and install Clover 3, how it looks like. So it will be here in the tray. See, this is one window, whatever I opened. The next window, I can just click here itself and I can open the second window. Okay, so it continues like this. So as many number of windows as you want, you just open it like a tab. Okay, so that is the use of Clover. So you can explore this particular. What is this? Nilafar? I'm getting some notification. What happened? Somebody is somebody, 1 second. Okay, so that's about Clover, which may be helpful for you whenever you want multiple tabs. So if you don't want to use this Clover, there is one limitation with Clover. Its installation window is in Chinese language. It is not in English. All other features, it's working fine, but during installation, you will get messages in Chinese language. So how to do the install then? You just click next, it will continue and it will sit there in the system. Okay, if you don't want to use that, you can use this. This is another one, explorertabs.com. Okay, go to that and you will get one tool and you install that. You can use, you can have tabbed experience. So what is the use of tabbed experience? So you will feel as if you are using your Chrome browser. That's all. Okay. Well, the next one I want you to install and practice. So this tool is called as Zoomit tool. Zoomit tool. So for that, okay, Zoomit. So what you're supposed to do is you just, if you want to try this in your system, you can try this, my dear participants. You can just type Zoom it. Okay, just type in your browser search bar Zoomit. Okay, are you trying? Anyone is trying? Anyone is trying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you're trying, just do this, Zoomit, search for Zoomit. The first option itself, okay, docs.microsoft.com. So you can use this tool with full confidence because Windows is from Microsoft and this tool is also from Microsoft, okay. So just click on that. It's a very, very small setup. See, just 917 KB. Just click on that. It will download within a fraction of second, depending upon your internet. Just go to the folder wherever it has been downloaded. So I'll go to the already downloaded version, whatever I am having in my system. Okay, so I have it here, Zoomit. Okay, so what I'm supposed to do is, since it is a zip file, I would extract it. Okay, I would extract it. So once I extract it, my screen is visible or what? Is
No,
it
sir.
not? No,
No,
it's not.
sir.
I'll, 1 second. I'll just try to stop my video. Probably then it would be okay. So okay, you just you're downloaded, right? So you just extract it, even if it is not visible. Just extract it. Right click and extract. Then you will get one folder called Zoomit. Please listen and do if you're not able to see. Then there are 4 files. So you can see 4 files. So I'm going a little faster. I cannot wait and ask whether you're done or not. I hope you're doing. Okay, so you go and click on this Zoomit 64. Okay, Zoomit 64. So this Zoomit 64, you have to click on that and you have to run this. So once it, there is a lot of noise. Who is this Rebecca 554? Please mute your mic. So you have to run. Okay, you have to just give run here. You run the setup. So once you run this setup, that particular setup will go and sit here in the tray. Okay, so this is the tray at the right bottom of your system, near your what is that, all those notification comes, right, regarding your audio setting or volume setting and all. So in that tray, that particular setup will go and sit. So Zoomit 64. Well, once installed, what happens? I'll show you what happens. If you're already installed and if you're running, if you're running that particular setup, you just hit Control and 2 together. Okay. See, earlier my pointer was like this. Can you see my pointer, screen and pointer? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So if I click Control 2, Control key plus 2. Okay. Control key plus 2, number 2. Okay. Control and 2. If I click that, what happens? The arrow key changes to one plus symbol. Okay, now we are in Zoomit mode. Okay, Zoomit mode. So now we can do various annotations. So what annotations we can do? See, if I want to write something, I can write. Okay, see, are you able to do? Anyone is trying? Are you able to do?
Yes, sir.
Anyone is? Yeah. So you can write like this. So for writing, just click. So what did I do? Control Z. Okay, once I press Control Z, I get one plus symbol. Using this, I can start my annotation. All marking, highlighting, all I can do. Okay, just if I want to put some tick mark like this, I can put. Okay, well, now if I want to increase the thickness of my pointer, okay, increase the thickness of my pointer, what can I do? I can just hit or keep the Control key pressed. Please listen. Control key pressed. Keep the Control key pressed and use your scroller. In the mouse, there is a scroller, right? If you are using laptop, it may be little difficult. In the mouse, there is one scroller. Use the center scroller. Use that. See, the thickness of my pointer has increased. Okay. So if you want to decrease, scroll down. So it is going to decrease. Okay. So this particular tool will be helpful for you. If you are a teacher, when you are taking the class online, you may have to highlight some points and all. So there it may be helpful. If you are a student, if you are presenting some projects or anything else, definitely you can use this tool for your presentation. Okay. So this is basically annotation tool. Well, now I want to come out of this mode. So this is Zoomit mode. Let us call it as Zoomit mode. So from this Zoomit mode, if you want to come out, you have to just press escape key, escape, okay? You know, escape at the top left corner, that is escape key on your keyboard. Just click on that. Everything will be raised and you will be back to your normal, what is that? Window or normal form, not in the Zoomit mode. It is the normal mode. Well, let me show some more options and some more uh, way of writing various objects on the screen, how to draw various objects on the screen. Let me show that. Okay, if you are doing it, you simultaneously do it. Otherwise, you just watch and later we can do, because already we are running out of time. Okay, so now I want to draw circle. Okay, so those who are trying to draw circle, press the tab key, and keep it pressed. Okay, tab key, keep the tab key pressed and drag the mouse like this. Click on the mouse and drag. Okay, left click and drag. Keep the tab key pressed on the keyboard with the left hand. Keep the tab key pressed. With the right hand, you just click and drag like this. See, this is circle. If you want oval, you can draw. If you want oval like this, you can draw. Okay, you have to practice. That's all. So Zoomit is the one what we are discussing now. Well, let me uh, tell you how to draw a rectangle then. Okay, rectangle. So what I drew just now, it is oval and circle. So I want rectangle like this. So what can I do? I have to keep the control key pressed. Okay, control key pressed and drag like this. Control key and drag like this. So dragging, you know, left click and drag. Okay, control key press, drag. Is it visible?
No, no, sir. Only the PPT is visible. Showing it isn't visible.
PPT is not visible. Lot of noise is coming from.
Sir, only PPT is visible, sir.
Yeah, I can hear a lot of noise is coming. Yeah. On the PPT, if I am using any annotation, is it visible or not?
No, sir. No, sir.
Nothing is visible except the PPT. One second. Let me just stop sharing, and once again let me start sharing from the beginning. Now PPT is visible, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So annotation, whatever I'm drawing is not visible on the screen. How is it possible?
Yes, sir.
One second. Now it's visible, I think. I can see.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. 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 So, well, let me quickly repeat what did I do earlier. So Control Z will enable the zoom it mode. If I want to draw anything on the screen, I can draw like this. And if I want to increase the size of my pointer, I can just keep the control key pressed and scroll up and down like this, up and down like this. Okay. So that is for that's when you want a thicker line, okay, or thicker annotation. Okay, if you want a circle to be drawn, you have to keep the tab key pressed, and you have to click and drag. So this is how you can draw circle. If you want ellipse, okay, vertical or whatever it is, you just want to, whatever the way in which you want to draw, you just drag and that gives you the required shape. Okay, well, that will be again for highlighting some points or something like that. Well, now if you want a square to be drawn, you can use the control key and you can just drag it like this. Control key, keep the control key pressed and drag it like this. So that will give you one square or rectangle. Okay, if you want to draw square, you should drag it uniformly in the vertical and in horizontal direction. That's all. So that is rectangle, circle, and then lines. Well, now if you want straight lines, see, normally when I am drawing, see, I don't have control over my mouse, isn't it? So I'm not getting a straight line. So what can I do if I want to draw a straight line? I have to just keep the shift key pressed, and I can draw a straight line. See, shift key pressed and straight line. Okay, shift key pressed and straight line. So I cancelled last two operations. Did you observe? I cancelled the last two operations. So what can I do if I want to cancel two operations? What do you do whenever you want to undo some operation in Windows? Control Z, right? So just do Control Z. That will undo the last operation. Okay, undo. Control Z. Okay, so these are different ways of drawing lines, rectangles, circles. Well, if you want arrow key, what can you do? You have to press two keys together, control and shift together, keep it pressed, then click and drag. See, I'm getting a mouse, sorry, I'm getting a getting an arrow. So if you want to increase, control shift, see, thicker arrow. That's all. Okay, so this is how you can draw lines and arrows. Now, whether blue is the only color what it is available, no, there are other colors. So if you want other colors, you can just say, you can use red, green, orange, pink, then yellow, blue, green. So many number of colors. So if you want red, you just say R, capital letter R is there, no, on the keyboard, just press R. Okay, you are getting red. Then if you want orange, click on O. If you want yellow, just click on Y. If you want green, just click on G. Okay, if you want blue, just click on B. Okay, so these are the different colors what you can use during your annotation. Okay, so apart from this, if you want whiteboard or blackboard, you can just click W and K. Okay, W for whiteboard, K for blackboard. So I will not demonstrate that because I'm little concerned if I just do that switching, my screen setting may change or something like that, and later you may not be able to see my screen. So I don't want to take that risk. So W is for whiteboard, K for blackboard. So if you want to type something on the screen, what you can do? So apart from this, in this pic, you can see some texts are typed. So if you want to type it, what you can do? You can just say T, okay? T for text. Okay, T for text. Just type, hit T on your keyboard and you can type. Okay, see, you can type. So if you want to change the color of your text, what will you do? You just say R and then T, then say type whatever you want to type. Okay, so that's how it is. Now if you want to decrease or increase the font, what can be done? See, hit T, it is in text mode. Now you scroll up, scroll down, keep the control key pressed, scroll up and scroll down. You can increase or decrease the font, whatever you are typing. Okay, so these are some options or tool of Zoomit, which may be helpful for you to present in a better way. Okay, so if you want to clear the screen or erase all, you just type E. Okay, E is for erase. So these are various options. Apart from that, you can take the screenshot of this, you can save it as a PNG file. So Control S, if you say, it will be saved as a image file. If you say Control C, that will be copied into your clipboard. Okay, if you want a timer, there is option for timer. Control 3. Okay, Control 3 will give you timer, and Control 4 is there for zooming. Okay, so various options are there. So that's about this particular tool. So now how to come out of this tool? See, I said Control Z is to enter into the zoom it mode. To come out, escape. Okay. So that is one annotation tool what I wanted to discuss. I have around 10 to 15 minutes, I suppose. So I'll quickly move across my remaining whatever tools I want to discuss. I'll quickly talk about that. So one is Jamboard. Okay, so what is Jamboard? It's like a collaborated board. It is a product of Google. So if you are having a Gmail account, definitely you can just open a Jamboard there. So how it looks like? So it looks like this. See, this is one sample Jamboard. Is it visible? Screen is visible? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I can add images in the Jamboard. I can add images. Then I can put some small texts. Okay, sticky notes. Or if I want to put some text, I can just type in using this tool. Then if when I am presenting, I can use the laser tool. And also if I want to draw something, I can use the pen. Okay, so these are options. Similarly, if I want to erase, I can erase like this. Well, you are already having Paint, MS Paint, then why you want Jamboard? See, Jamboard is having some slide kind of feature. So you can add more and more slides like this, and you have various background settings for that, colors, blackboard or chalkboard, something like that. And also you can collaborate this in the sense you can share it like this. That's the advantage of using this Jamboard kind of tool. So you can just take a link, just like you are sharing your Google form. You can take the link and you can share, and you can, or you can add their email ID as an editor or just a viewer or something like that. So it is a very useful collaborating tool. It's nothing but Jamboard. So you might have seen this advertisement of Jamboard. So even though if you are not explored, some of you might have already explored it also. Well, regarding Google Drive, all of you know, so I'll not speak much about this. So in the Google Drive, features like Docs, okay, Google Docs is there, Google Sheet is there, Google Slides are there, Google Sites are there, websites, then Google Forms are there. So most of the features you can explore by yourself. Google Forms, there are different variety of templates are readily available. So what you can do, you can just click on that template, and using that you can create forms. So you need not prepare it from the scratch always. You can prepare quizzes, you can do assessment worksheets, course evaluation sheets, even your registration form. It was a Google form, I know that, isn't it? So party invite, All these kind of things can be done with the ready-made available templates can be used for creating such kind of forms. Then if there are some UG students, or if you are not seen forms how it looks like, this is one sample form whatever I have created. I hope the screen is visible. Yes, it is visible. So you just create a new here, just go to new and Google Forms, blank form or blank quiz or from template you choose. This is a blank one, whatever I have opened, and here I have put some title, some fields I have added. That's all. So when you want to share it, how it looks like, if you want to see, just click on view or sample view or preview, then you can change the themes here. Okay, various settings can be done here, and all the responses whatever you are getting, it will be stored in this Google Sheet. So when you are sharing, you can share like via email, or you can also give the link and you can shorten the link. So that's one thing. So if the link is too lengthy, it's a little difficult, and in that case you just shorten the link. And even for shortening the link, there are some websites like tiny URL and all, you can use that kind of facilities also. So Jamboards and uh, Google Forms. Next, I'll just mention about Google Sites. So if you want want a website, and if you are already having a Gmail ID, then you can just host a Google site, your profile page, or maybe regarding some event what you're going to conduct. You can just create a small website and you can host it. Okay, so for that you have the option of Google Sites. Can just go to Drive, and you here there is more, and go to Google Sites and you will get one blank site, and there you can add some elements and you can create the site. So by default how it looks like, I'll just show and I'll proceed with the next. Okay, so it's taking a little time to load it. Meanwhile, I'll show you one sample site whatever I've created so that I can demonstrate to you. See, this is one sample site, whatever I had created. I don't know why it's taking a lot of time, maybe some issue with the network. See, this is one sample site I created for your webinar. Okay, so what I have done is just homepage, top I have added, and here I have put the brochure, then the details of institution I have put. See, there is one text box, and you can add pages also. So adding pages, see I have added some pages here. So then if you want to publish, so how it looks like, if you want to see that, just click on preview. See, this is how it looks like. Okay, institution, if you click this, it will get enhanced like this, and these are other pages for registration. So the registration form I could embed it here. See, that form is embedded here. Okay, so that I can do the schedule. So madam had shared the schedule, I just put it here. Okay, so this is one sample site, the way or what you can host. Okay, or what it can be done, or if you want to explore that, you can just do that. So this is the preview. So how to publish? Just click on publish. Okay, review the changes and just publish. It will be published. So this is how the blank page comes. So it takes a little time in the beginning. So this is the title part. If you want to have some text boxes, you can add extra text boxes. Here you can type the contents. Images you can upload to your Google Drive and you can explore it here. Okay, embedded pages. So if I put the URL here, automatically that page will be embedded. So that's what I did. I didn't have the complete code of your Google form, your registration form. I just had the link. That link I pasted here. Automatically the system is capable of embedding it in the right place. Okay, so pages, multiple pages, if you want to add, you can add it here. Themes, if you want to modify, you can modify the themes here. So various colors, etc. So that's about the Google site. So why you want Google site? So if you want to present your profile, or if you want to start some startup or anything, or if you are having hosting some event in your department, you can prepare a small website for that. Okay, so maybe for your upcoming webinar, you can plan a small website. Okay, what about Google Keep? So Google Keep is another tool. I think my time is almost up, so I will quickly wind up, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Please bear with me. So Google Keep is another tool which will be helpful for you to keep notes. Okay, keep notes. What I mean by keeping notes, in your phone, you might be using some notes applications, isn't it? To store some information, to keep, to remember something, or to put some checklist or something like that. You may be using some note or notes, Samsung Note kind of applications. Okay, so a similar kind of tool is available in Google. So that is nothing but Google Keep. So how the Google Keep look like? So you can just go here and you can click here and you can search. See, there is Keep here. Okay, Keep. Okay, this one on bulb kind of symbol is there, right? That is Google Keep. So it opens like this. So this is my Google Keep. I already have some notes in my folder in my account. That's why it is coming. See, I just kept this pinned. So if I don't want to pin it, if it's not of important, I can unpin it. So how can I add new notes? I can just type in here hello. Okay, just close it. So it comes and sits somewhere here. See, it's here. If you want to change the color, you can change the color. Different themes, different colors are there. Okay, so if you want to pin it, you can pin it. So once you pin it, it will automatically come to the top of your page. I think I unpinned it. So if I pin it, yes, it comes here. So you can add images, etc., etc. Similarly, if you want to make it as a checkbox, you can have. Okay, so session 1, then session 2, something like that, you can add. Okay, so close it. So it comes like this. So what is the benefit of this? You just click on this. It will be showing like it is done. See, it is done. Okay, see some of the highlighting or the points I had added. Conferences, some are dates are over, so I just checked it. So see, so like this. So this may be helpful for you to keep your things organized, keep the notes, etc. So if you want to add someone as a collaborator, you can add it here. Okay, to your notes, you can add somebody else. Okay, so that may be helpful for you in some situations. Okay, let me proceed further. So for video conferencing, there are various tools like Google Meet, Zoom, WebEx, Microsoft Teams, BlueJeans. So all these are various video conferencing tools. You might have already explored some of the tools. Google Meet is lightweight, Zoom is highly used, WebEx is also used by professional people. Some of the universities, especially in our university, we are using Microsoft Teams. Okay, so there are various tools. So for basic usage, you can use it free of cost, and for more more controlled usage, you have to use it with the paid version. So when you are doing video conferencing, you have custom background option. Okay, custom background option, in the sense you can change your background. In the sense, if you are not sitting in a comfortable environment, then you can quickly change your background. So that options are available in Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and WebEx. So you can try that, you can explore that. Then when you are attending some classes or some conferences, if you find a lot of noise, you can use this tool called crisp.ai. This is the website, crisp.ai. Name of the tool is Crisp. Okay, so I'm already using it. I hope there is no much noise from my side, because a lot of vehicles and all are moving in the nearby road. So I have used this particular tool. So you have to install this. This is a small, some 150 MB file. You have to download and you have to install it, and you have to enable that tool when you are attending or when you are presenting something. Okay, so there is no time for demonstrating that, so you can explore it. Okay. Then apart from that, for collaborated activities. So what I mean by collaborated activities, in the sense you can have some discussion.
Welcome to Kialo.
some debate kind of activities or something like that in the class or in your college. So in such kind of situations, you may need some tools. So you can use Pialo kind of platforms for that. You can also use your what is the symbol? It is Clubhouse, right? So you can also use your Clubhouse for that kind of discussion or something like that. So debate kind of activities can be held online. Okay, I'm almost to the end of this set of slides. So for business, what all kind of collaboration tools are available? So for knowledge management, you have some tools like this Confluence, come around, then Guru kind of things. For time management, you are having this Time Doctor, HubStaff, then Toggle kind of tools. For documentation, Google Docs, PIP, Etherpad kind of things are there. For sharing files, Google Drive is one of the easiest tool. Apart from that, you have Dropbox, OneDrive kind of tools. OneDrive is from Microsoft, you know that. Then for project collaboration, you have some tools. I don't know to what extent you may be using it. If you are from science background or some technical background, you may be using, even for your commerce projects and all, you may be using this kind. You will be able to explore such kind of tools. Okay, so you have to find out what tool is better for you and which is not useful for you. In that way, you have to explore. Okay, so first you have to explore, then you have to experience, then only you can expertise in the domain. Okay, so communication tools, there are many: Slack, Microsoft Teams, Skype, Zoom, BlueJeans, WebEx, etc., etc. Okay, so one of the good tool is Microsoft Teams, which comes along with the MS Office 365. So you just explore how to get it free of cost as a student. Okay, so basic version is available free of cost for students. So you just explore how it is possible and try to use that tool, which is quite good, and you have various options with that. Okay, so this is one shortcut way of downloading YouTube videos. So for that, you have to just use a browser, and when you're watching the YouTube video, if you want to download that YouTube video, sometimes you may have to install some softwares, isn't it? Most of the cases, what we do, we install some YouTube downloaders. So if you don't want to use that kind of YouTube downloaders, because we don't know to what extent it is reliable, you can just put one SS in the beginning of your address of that particular video. For example, let me just open this video and see, this is the address of this video. Here, after www and after dot, I just put yes and yes 2 times, yes. This is basically from save okay, save from .NET website. So it will prompt me directly to that particular website, and it will show me the URL, and it will also load a thumbnail of that particular video. Okay, so what did I do? I just put SS after a dot. Okay, www.ss and continuation of the address. Okay, then you can select various resolutions, whatever you need, and you can just download the video. So that is one simple way of downloading videos. Okay, so I am at the last topic. So finally, what I want to tell is, whenever you are online, be safe and beware of your digital footprint. So various safety tips. I need not speak much on that, and you can just take a screenshot of this, or even a slide will be shared with you later. So never reveal your personal identity to some unknown people when you are online in the digital platform. Be careful about your passwords. Use strong passwords, and never communicate with the strangers. Especially tell your young brothers and sisters, those who are attending the classes online, because Even though the government has told that colleges may reopen from 26th, most of the students are not vaccinated yet. And there is, I don't think in near future, maybe in this month and all, we can't expect schools to reopen, isn't it? Primary or high schools and all. It will take time. So they will have online classes. So be careful when they are attending online classes. You make sure that they are safe and secured. Okay. So you please take care of them, because there are many such kind of issues. I heard it in Kerala recently for high school students, for those who are attending online classes. They are getting some false contacts, or some uh, people are trying to use them in various ways. Okay, so be careful when they are online. So whenever you are online, please remember, wherever you visit, your trace will be retained there. So whenever you are exploring or browsing, be careful what kind of websites you are visiting, and what kind of website should be visited, and what kind of website should not be visited. Unknowingly or knowingly, some files may be harmful, files may be downloaded and may corrupt your system. I have experienced this. That's why I am telling, during the starting of lockdown in the year 2020 March, I happened to, due to the sudden immediate lockdown, I happened to use somebody else's system which didn't have an good antivirus, and I visited some website, and entire 2 TB of data which was related to my research, I lost it. So it got encrypted, and somebody else started asking money for that. Okay, huge amount it was. So that kind of situations may happen. So be very careful whenever you are browsing and visiting various websites. So at the end, before winding up, I'll just look into your questions if there are any questions. Where is the chat box? Okay, I don't find any questions here in the chat box. Any questions? If you have any questions, quickly you can ask me, students. Meanwhile, I'll just share. I'm sharing one just link of Menti. You can just open it in your system, and you can just poll it there. Okay, so what is that? What are those questions? I'll let you know. 1 second. Where is? Are you able to open that link? Are you getting the? Have I shared it? Are you able to get the link? No. Yes. You can just go to that link and
Yes, sir.
do the,
Link
do the
is posted.
yes. Okay, okay, okay. One second, let me load the page. So you can just post your opinions there. So let me share the first one. I have two questions. One is, what is the takeaway keywords? In the sense, in total, what did you learn here? Just put few words. That's all what I want. Okay. Then meanwhile, let me look into the questions. Okay. Ramya is asking. No more questions in the beginning. Have you opened that link, participants? Yes. Okay. Key takeaway in the sense, what did you learn? Some words you can take up and you can just post it there. Okay. Because it's already time. What are the challenges in digital literacy and measures to overcome? See, challenges in the digital literacy is, as our madam was telling, primarily we do not have this connectivity to the entire country or entire state, we can say. Most of the people are still they are not having connectivity to the internet, and they are away from the digital world, especially in the rural areas. So apart from that, we need to have this digital technological understanding in various domains. But the thing is, our syllabuses here and there, it is limited to some subjects, or maybe it is, if it is commerce, we are studying only commerce. And if you are computer science, you are studying only computer science. This kind of interdisciplinary knowledge is essential. So that can be achieved only when you are having an interdisciplinary curriculum in your education. So thanks to the upcoming teach education policy, where we will have the variety of education into our students, and measures to overcome it, in the sense explore. As I told you, you have to explore, and then you have to expertise. Okay, you have to explore and you have to experience. You have to use various tools. Then only you will be able to use it. Okay. I hope I have answered to some extent. Sir, for folder making, is it the same process in other platforms other than Windows old versions for organizing files and folders? Yes, it is the same process. You can just right click and open, create a folder. But what did I explain and what I demonstrated is highlighting the folders. Okay, so folder marking is for highlighting the folders. So it's similar wherever it is, especially in Windows platform. So if you are asking for other platforms, in the sense, if it is Linux or if it is MacBook or something like that, this tool may not work. I told in the very beginning, it is an Windows platform or Windows tool. Any other questions? How to increase digital literacy in as adult citizens? So either we should make them understand by explaining them various tools, or we should make them to use. That's all. Use and experience. That is the only way to improvise the skill set, isn't it? So what should you do? You take one smartphone and give it to your parent, and you explain various features. So once they are introduced to one of the platform, for example, in the beginning, even when I was studying as a student, we had basic sets. Later, when we started using smartphones, then only we started to using this WhatsApp kind of things, isn't it? So in the same way, even elder people, once you give them the technology, and once they are starting to use it, they will use it to in a better extent. So that's the thing. So to increase the digital literacy, you have to make them to use it. Rita. Okay. So any other questions, or have I answered the questions? Yes. So I hope there are no questions in the chat box anymore. So if you have any queries directly, if you want to ask, you can ask, or if you want to post any more questions, you can post. Sorry, I took some around 15 minutes extra, some 5 minutes due to my technical glitch. I couldn't I couldn't be online, or I couldn't present there. I hope you got some insight into the technical aspects. So if you have anything else, you can say. Otherwise, yes. Okay. So I think no more questions. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. So let me wind up with this particular quote from Steve Jobs. Technology is nothing. So as somebody, Preeta, was asking, how to make our elder citizens to understand the digital literacy. See, technology is nothing. What is important is that you have a faith in people, that they are basically good and smart. So let's assume, and let's believe that our senior citizens are smart enough to understand and acquire the knowledge, and let's give them the opportunity and they will do that. Okay? If you give them tools, they will do wonderful things with them. Okay, Steve Jobs. So if you have any queries, you can still ask. Otherwise, that's all from my side. I think I can stop sharing. Yes. Yes, Chandana is asking whether deep web is illegal. See, if you are using it for some harmful kind of aspects, then it will be definitely illegal. But if you are using for study purposes or education use, no problem, you can use it. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. Now I request Ramya N from First MCOM to deliver the vote of thanks.
Yeah, a very good evening to all. Gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgivings, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. It gives me an it gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event to all dignitaries assembled here. Firstly, I would like to thank our beloved Secretary, Reverend Sister Margaret Fatima Mary Ma'am, and our beloved resource person, Mr. Ratnakara Shetty Sir, who honored this webinar with his inspirational thoughts, tips, and techniques on how important is digital literacy, especially during this pandemic situation. Now, we all are glad that digital is no more difficult for us. Thank you, sir, for your kind
Thank you.
gesture and wonderful explanation. I
Thank you.
would
Thank
also
you.
like to thank our principal, Nisha Joseph ma'am, all staff members, participants, and last but not the least, I thank our entire PG Commerce department, lecturers, and students who coordinated and worked so hard in organizing this event and for making this event a grand success. Once again, thank you one and all, and stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Especially thank you very much, Bindu ma'am. And I'm very thankful to the principal and the coordinator and the HOD. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Once again, thank you all for attending the webinar. With this, we have come to an end of the program, and hopefully we all meet in some other webinar in the future. Stay home, stay safe. Feedback link is being posted in the chat box. Kindly fill for the certificates. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.